And do you know who's going to be getting charged thousands? St Johnstone, because they're going to have to hire another manager. After paying one off. Steven MacLean last...
Because they gave him a 3-year deal. Why?
Why?
Surely he wasn't even as it. But like the Kevin Kyle story. I don't know about that. All right, fine, I'll sign it if you insist.
Well, how long would you like a contract? I would like a 3-year deal. Okay.
I've never managed...
No, this is why I want to... Oh, wait, hang on, you said yes?
Yeah. He's never managed before. You don't go rushing and giving them a 3-year deal. A 1-year deal.
Now, even Hearts gave Naismith a 2-year deal, which was... It was immediately kind of like, yeah, let's see how this goes kind of thing. And I'm hoping they can realise that it's not going very well very soon. But St Johnstone, the 3-year deal, Steve MacLean, that... For a club as well that doesn't really have a lot behind the scenes in terms of like recruitment and structure in place, to give a novice manager a 3-year deal and then to let him lead this recruitment drive is bonkers, because they've got beat 4-0 at the weekend by St Mirren. Again, I mean, is there any surprise to you that MacLean's... I mean, I suppose it's a punishment thing that he deserves to go because he's built such a shit squad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know who's coming in and getting anything good at this, because they're competitive most weekends, and I think they're competitive despite the fact that they are rubbish. They don't have any talent.
There's I think competitive is the word, but the second that I always see when I watch St Johnstone, it's into the second half that it starts to go wrong for them, because the minute they start to tire, because the defence doesn't get any rest.
Yeah.
They treat every... And this isn't just this season. This is last season and the season before. I got shit from St Johnstone fans because of the things I was saying on the telly. I'm a bitter hippie because they beat us, all that type of stuff.
Oh, right,
but like what is making when they deserve to get relegated, when I say things like that, it's because it's been a managed decline over years, and they treat every game when I watch St Johnstone, it's like they're playing the old firm. It's like they said like they're doing that they totally sit in, they never engage till the other teams are past the halfway line. They've got no sort of like talent, there's no fun players, there's nothing enjoyable. It is like the sloggiest slog you'll ever get. And if it wasn't for teams like Gretna, this team could be hitting up with like the lowest points tally, because it's just, there is nothing to... I don't see what's going to turn it good.
I'm just going to go check this out very briefly, because I saw somebody say this in one of the forums, and I really hope it's true, because it's funny if it is, which is that St Mirren scored more goals in that game against St Johnstone than St Johnstone have managed all season, and that is correct. Yeah. So they've got 3 goals in 9 games, and St Mirren bagged 4 against them at the weekend.
And I just finished watching this. Well, you were doing a TV meeting before we started recording, and St Mirren were bang average, and they won the game 4-0. All they done that they were clinical, and they scored. Obviously, Bacchus scored a smashing goal. But that first half was so bad, because I'm sitting down thinking that, what game? I was obviously we check with each other. What have you seen? Like, St Mirren, 4-0, right? Okay, I'll get to see like a rip roaring performance. No, it's just them, like Fraser, Gogic, and Taylor stroll through the whole game. You can see the difference. You know, I was talking about the whole back 3 thing when we were on the show last week. See the difference a wee bit with Fraser, because Taylor's pretty good on the ball, and and he can shift a bit, so he can add impetus when he gets the ball, because he can drive forward a bit. And Fraser's obviously a fullback, really by trade. Yeah. So it's the same for him. They both can power forward. So it means that the rest of the team can, like McMenamin and Kilty, can play really far up, and then Flynn and Tanzer are more playing at wiper. So it kind of works better for them. And Gogic, I feel like, is better with the ball when he plays in defence, because he doesn't get rushed when he gets it, because obviously in midfield sometimes it gets congested. He's not high enough quality.
That was a big reason why he ended up playing in the back 3, and I've eventually come around to it now. It was something I didn't really like last season, because I thought St Mirren were a better team with him in the centre of the park. And also as well, I thought it was strange that, especially when like Declan Gallagher wasn't fit, because if he wasn't fit, it was Gogic usually playing. I was like, well, why is Joe Shaughnessy just being completely discarded? And I've always been a fan of Shaughnessy, so that was kind of why I didn't really make sense. But it's because Gallagher was good on the ball. Shaughnessy is a lot more limited. He's not somebody that's going to can dribble it out for that.
Yeah.
And basically, Robinson wants 3 defenders that are comfortable moving the ball out of that back 3, including in the centre, where usually you have somebody there who's like your Christoph Berra types.
Yeah, you
like
did
somebody
a defender
who's just there to defend first and foremost.
And so, like, fair play to Robinson, because it seems like for that, it's like someone who actually understands the back three, who's using the back three and knows that it's not just about being solid, which is what I watch a lot of our teams. That's kind of what, like St Johnstone. It's just because it's the way that they'll concede the least goals, and it's just a complete ignoring that there's going to be another side of it. I mean, St Johnstone, I don't want to say started well, because I'd say that's disingenuous, but they had a flurry of early corners. They had four corners really, really early, and it was after about 10 minutes that St Mirren just started having the ball a lot. And I said, but just passing amongst the back three, Mark O'Hara was trying to, as he does, just because of his style. So it adds impetus to the game when he gets on it. But there's no, as I said, no press, and it was really flat. The 25 minutes in the ground, it was completely silent. And this might sound strange, but that's testament to where St Mirren are, because their fans are now starting to sit with the old expected. You know this.
Yeah.
You know this when everyone like, fucking come on, hurry up. do it for
Morning,
me.
because they don't score that for half an hour.
Yeah. So that I think there was a bit of that. It was quite flat for them, and obviously because St Johnstone there's just no jeopardy when you play them. There's no nerves, because they don't put you under any sort of pressure. You can just start, and you see the teams over time. They just start getting more and more confidence. They know that the goal's coming, and so Johnstone will be disappointed because it's the goal for Bacchus. It's a great goal, but it's a goal out of nothing.
Yeah.
And it's something that, and this is what happens, because you don't ever add anything, you're always susceptible to when, if you make a mistake, or if the other team score a raker, because you're basically playing for 0-0. It actually is no surprise that the game that St Johnstone have done best this season was at Parkhead, because there was no expectation for them to have to do any sort of attacking, so they could just focus purely on defending.
And the same, when I saw them and they were quite impressive, was away to Aberdeen. I watched that whole game, and yeah, they were especially first half, they were pretty good. And Aberdeen had them under the cross a lot the last 20-30 minutes, but first half they were the better team. They knocked it around well, but I even said after that game, I was like, they still don't look like scoring. They don't look like really hurting the opposition. They look kind of well drilled and well organised under MacLean, but they like, again, just keep going back, just keep repeating myself, but it's true, just don't have talent for this level.
There's just no fear when teams are playing them. I think it was McMenamin or Kilty with a really nice layoff for Bacchus, and then he sort of swerves it round into the far post, and it's a peach. But then the second goal is just, I said that it's an error, just like a Stark error, James Brown.
Yeah.
It's like he tries to chest it back. That's it. But the game's over.
Chest it back to the goalie from miles away.
Yeah, I don't know, like, what do you think? He's got the most powerful chest in the world. Yeah. Like, he's got bouncy tits, and the ball's going to fly. It's just, that's not going to work, man. And then Mandron, but again, because Mandron finishing is something.
James Brown's bouncy tits. There we go. There's already the name of the show right there.
But Mandron, to be fair to him, he was so clinical in this game, and that's something he would probably criticise for. He doesn't score enough in the game. He only really got 2 chances, and he buried them both. And then the third goal, it comes from, it's a St Johnstone throw-in, and they throw it down the line with Liam Gordon, and then St Mirren win it Gogic, and he plays it over, and St Johnstone sort of get the ball again, but Mandron's so much quicker onto the second ball, and he just plays it into Olisanya, who came on in the second half. And then Mandron's absolutely boosting. And St Johnstone, because they've all moved over for the side for the throw-in, there's no one there. And he's so much faster on the front foot. The second he gets the ball, he's played it to Olisanya, and he absolutely belts it through the middle. And you just see all the, it's Considine, Robinson, Gordon. They're slow as shit, and there's nobody left. They're not led anywhere, just completely left out of it. Man just runs to the middle, and then he cracks it in, and then I think game's over. I want to say something good about St Johnstone. That Jessime, he was involved.
Oh yeah,
I saw him a lot on the screen.
Okay,
not necessarily always good, but he was there.
He was present.
He was there. He was trying to do things. He was attempting to do things, and
Seb Sprangler spoke to the support after the game.
That's good of him.
Nice.
Good, but yeah, it's like there's like Costello. What do you do? Like what? Like it just doesn't do. Like there's so many guys that just aren't doing anything. I like with Wee Max is meant to be like the quite attacking midfielder.
Yeah,
In what world?
again, I don't think he's still quite young, Max Kucheravi, but 21 years old. But I mean, I remember when he went to Falkirk and he had a couple of decent games, but even then at League One level, he was hardly like tearing up the joint.
Right. And then like Turner Cook came on. He had a shot on the turn from miles out. That the goalie.
He's looked really bad this season. He's looked a special breed of Brad.
Yeah.
A special breed of bad in this St Johnstone team.
And so the goalie just sort of palmed that down. And Chris Kane had a nothing header. I just honestly, there's just nothing good or positive I can say about that. I just don't. They're just, and now that I just don't see how there's anything that can be done. I don't think they've got any money. They've got owners who want to settle up, so they're not going to invest anything in this team. So I would also they're becoming less and less of a purchase someone will want to make because they're off to. Not good, man. It's not good for them at all. And obviously they were always punching above their weight. They've probably been. The greatest story in Scottish football over the last decade in terms of overachievement.
Oh yeah,
and I mean I don't think we might never see that level of 3 trophies of a club of that size.
3 trophies, consistent top 6 finishes, getting into European football.
You might not see that again. Like of a team of that size doing it, because I mean Dundee never do it, and they're quite a much considerably bigger fan base than St Johnstone. Dundee United don't do that, like Hibs and Hearts, Aberdeen definitely don't do that.
Something in the water, I think, in the Dundee clubs that just means they're just constant cloud car clubs.
So it's been great. They've enjoyed it, but it's like they made a. It's like almost like it feels like they've made a deal with the devil to get that success, and now it is.
Now it's coming back.
You're not just going to get relegated. It's going to be like death by 1 trillion cuts, and there's nothing. And I see there's just nothing for me to get. Like St Mirren, they just didn't make mistakes and took the chances that were given to them. That's all they've done. There was nothing else, no deeper sort of tactical or performance based. People running out. The best players are like tailing that. They're picking up like a 7 out of 10. There's an empty that was running Mandron possibly a bit more because he was so involved and he was lethal. But I mean, Kilty managed to score, but it's just another box ticked for St Mirren. That's what they're really just motoring. And even when they're playing poorly, they're devastating.
I backed them for third early in the campaign, so...
You done it early as well, and people laughed. I laughed.
I mean, it's still very early days, but it's not looking quite as silly at this point in time with Hearts, Hibs and Aberdeen still continuing to flounder, especially.